birch sap home, and now I want to try and make some birch sap wine. And I went on the internet and checked out a few birch sap wine recipes. Now, Jack Keller had a recipe for birch sap wine, and so did The Guardian. They printed an article called How to Make Birch Sap Wine. And then I found another one by Instructables.com, and I sort of compared the ingredients, and there's a load more on the internet recipes, and I compared the ingredients, and some of them don't add anything except for the sugar, the yeast, the birch sap, and others they add something to make it more flavoursome, I suppose, because water and sugar fermented I wouldn't think it has a lot of flavour. So I got some oranges and I got some lemons, and that is for acidity, because apparently you have to add acid to the wine. So some say you add lemons and oranges, others say you add acid blend, what is called acid blend, and this is it. It's like a citric acid, it says a blend of tartaric, malic and citric acid for use in cordial and country winemaking. Okay, I'm going to use fruit, and that is because this has no flavour whatsoever. It's just slightly sweet water, and I thought oranges and lemons at least going to give it a bit of flavour, and they're going to add the acidity. Also, one of the recipes, actually a couple of the recipes I saw said seedless raisins are a good idea, because again they will give it flavour. And so I went and bought Californian seedless raisins, and I'm going to add them as well. Obviously sugar is required for fermentation, and the other thing I want to add is tannin. Now tannin gives it, again, it adds to the flavour, but some people use black tea. Now I'm just going to use the powder. Okay. Apart from our sugar and our fruit, we also need to put yeast and yeast nutrient in. Now the yeast nutrient comes in like granules or powder, and the yeast, I got two types of yeast here. One is rich yeast, white wine yeast, and the other one is a universal German yeast. I'm going to go for the white wine yeast, and then I'm also going to add some Canton tablets, because it is usually recommended to add this to prevent it from going sour, from being contaminated. Right, so let's go on to the next stage. Okay, so I've got my pots here, and I'm going to put my birch sap into the pots and bring that to the boil, because the recipe states to bring the sap to the boil and add the sugar, and then let the sugar dissolve, and then add some of the other ingredients as it cools down, and then we go on to the next step. Right, so I've squeezed my oranges and lemons and got them all ready to add to the wine, and I also I'm going to read the specific gravity of the sap, because I want to see how much sugar there's already in it, and the temperature of this is now, it's just under 20 degrees. It's supposed to be 20, I think, for a really accurate reading. I can always... By the way, I need to say that everything has been cleaned. It's really quite important to keep everything as clean as possible when winemaking. And what I've done is, first of all my equipment has been sanitized with this stuff. It's VWP, cleaner and sterilizer, and it's used for sterilizing winemaking equipment as well. And all surfaces have been cleaned, of course. Okay. And according to this, there's very little sugar in there. Okay. Right, well, according to this, it's slightly sweeter than just normal tap water. I have no idea how much sugar is supposed to be in birch tree sap, but anyway, let's crack on. Right, so the recipes recommend using 1.5 kilograms of sugar for 1 gallon of birch sap, and the specific gravity should be round about 1.090. I don't really know how much I need at the end to get that, but because I've got the raisins as well, and I've got the orange juice and lemon juice, and all of that was going to add sweetness. So I'm going to go easy and not add quite so much to begin with, and then I can always add a little bit more later on to get that gravity reading. Okay, can you measure this up? Right, so I've added some sugar to the sap, and I've ended up with a reading of 1.070. And I added 750 grams to 4 liters of sap. There was very, very little sugar in the sap to begin with, so I ended up using 750 grams. It can be higher yet, but I'm going to add the raisins, and I'm also going to add the orange juice, and I think that it'll probably really, really up the sugar level. So I don't want to add any more for the moment. Right, I've cleaned a container and a bubbler, and now I'm going to put the sap into the container and all the other ingredients, and when it's cooled down to about 25 degrees centigrade, I will add the yeast. Right, this has now cooled to about 25 degrees centigrade, and the next step will be to add the yeast nutrient and the Camden tablets. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is add the yeast nutrient. It's 1 level teaspoon per gallon, and it's dissolved in a cup of water first and then added to the must. So I'm going to put, there's 2 gallons in there, so I'm going to add 2 spoons to dissolve this. There we are. Good. Now then, I'm going to add the Camden now. And it's 2 gallons, so it's 1 tablet for each gallon. Just crush that. Okay, to do. Put that in. And we stir that. Cool. Now then, okay, now we're going to add the yeast. And we add our lid. Okay, and now we wait. Just another word about the specific gravity. I did take it again, and it went up from 1.070 to 1.080 or even 85. So the raisins and the orange juice have actually increased the gravity reading already. Right, so now I just have to wait and see if it will start to bubble, and if it does, it will show me that it's fermenting, and in a few days time I have to take a gravity reading, and if it's dropped to 1.010, I can siphon it off then into demijohns and leave it to finish fermenting. It could take quite a few weeks, and then when it's ready, it'll be cleared and bottled. It's really the normal winemaking process, and I will update you later on.